everyone. Thank you so much. It really means a huge amount to the city and to all of us that you've come together and convened. So really grateful that you're here. I'm the guest curator of Liverpool Biennial. Self-describe, I'm a short, middle-aged white woman with red lipstick and black hair that's going really grey, but I still think of it as black. To briefly situate you in Liverpool Biennial itself, 2025, one of the many immediate local contexts that you'll encounter, I wanted Bedrock, the title, to be something kind of really layered and grounding in times that are constantly fragmented and changing. And the fragmented times are not abstract, and they are not limited to, but include the rise of the far right, ongoing austerity in the arts and wider society, increasing cost of living, the erosion of trans rights, the rolling back of personal independent payments, globally genocide in Gaza, and the wider escalating hostilities that many of the artists we've worked with are also touched by. I'm not suggesting Bedrock as a way to bury contemporary reality, but to start, kind of a place to start from, to think about materiality and what grounds us. It has 3 layers. I did speak to someone who said it's okay to have 3 goes at a metaphor, but there's the literal sandstone bedrock, which you see in the city, you see as you come through the train tunnel. It's what the city is founded on. And you also see it in the old dock, which is like the epicenter of empire, so you kind of see it revealed. The second layer is like the metaphorical foundations of the city through empire, the repercussions of colonial violence, but also the city in the present day and its really distinctive civic values that come from its origins. The last metaphor or layer are the people and places that ground us, so the bedrock of memory, of our lives, of nature, family, chosen family, language, materials passed on across generations, intergenerational stories of migration, family history. At the Blue Coat here, if you have time, which I hope you might, Amber Kanu, who's with us, has a really beautiful film, Dear Other Mother, which is a tender portrait of single motherhood in the neighbourhood that raised her. Oda Ronald's portrait of his sister is at rest alongside an installation of 1,000 passports that speak to the way his materials travel much more easily than he can. So yeah, there's work to see. I wanted the biennial, which is nearly at the end, to mean something to the city, but also to artists, for it to be something generative and productive and to offer first opportunities to artists. So whether it's their first major project, their first biennial, but also extend existing research, so existing conversations. There's so much demand for novelty for artists, and it's a kind of exhausting process. So to think about what was in motion and what could come here. I hope it resonates with you. If you have time, see the biennial, see the Independence Biennial as well, the sister biennial, that's extended with incredible energy in times of extreme austerity for artists across the region. And it's quite miraculous and amazing as well. I'm with you today. That's the end of my welcome, and to listen and learn and to spend the day with you. So thank you for coming to Liverpool.
Well, it's a great pleasure and honour to follow Marie-Anne. I first met Marie-Anne when she was at Spike Island, so that's a long time ago. And what I know about Marie-Anne is she is the artist curator. She works with artists over long periods of time and really supports their practice and supports their ideas. So thank you, Marie-Anne. So welcome everybody to Artists Make Change. It's the International Association of Arts Symposium, organised by AN and in partnership with Liverpool Biennial. And it's taking place in one of my favourite spaces in Liverpool, the Blue Coat, which is over 300 years old. I didn't actually know it was that old until I looked it up yesterday. And in keeping with the theme of today, it was taken over by a group of artists in 1906, and it's the oldest arts centre in the UK. I'm Julie Lomax, I'm the CEO of AN, and to self-describe, I'm a middle-aged white woman with long blonde hair, red lipstick, and I'm wearing a black dress with a little bit of sparkle. I think we've got a little party later. But first, some housekeeping. There's no fire drill planned, so if the fire alarm goes off, please evacuate via the emergency exits. There will be staff on hand to guide you out of the building. There's also some first aiders based at the Blue Coat reception. And now on to the symposium. The original concept for Artists Make Change came from Glenn Stoker, who's here today, and our Artists Council, who developed the idea. And the symposium today will explore activism as practice, activism as survival, and activism as protest, all of which are necessary in a world dominated by economic and political volatility, precarious environmental sustainability, and the erosion of civil liberties and human rights. Excuse me. We believe artists see things differently, offering much-needed perspectives that connect us. This symposium is a platform for artists to share their experiences and insights, highlighting how collective action can make change. The International Arts Association community is bound together by a set of values that centre on the freedom and the rights of artists. So we've developed Artists Make Change today with these values, and I hope have created a space for debate, exchange of skills and knowledge, and a safe and inclusive environment for all. And I want to particularly mention our trans community who are here today, and I want you to feel very welcome and safe because you've been under siege. I want to thank all the artists who are speaking today, Natalia Palumbo, our head of programmes, for curating the symposium. It's probably not going to come up on the screen there, but I gave her this brief 12 weeks ago. She's done an amazing job. I want to also thank Adam, our producer. You'll probably meet him throughout the day. The AN team, our Artists Council and board for making this event possible. And I also want to thank IAA Europe, that's the acronym for the International Arts Association of Arts, for believing we could do it. And of course, you, the audience, for coming here. I'm now going to hand over to Jerome Ince-Mitchell. He's the Vice Chair of AN's board, and he's speaking today in his new role as President of the International Association of Arts Europe. Thank you, everybody.
And hello, everyone. I wasn't prepared to speak today because I wasn't aware of, I hadn't actually read the program to see that the actual president has to speak this morning. But I'm happy to speak to you all this morning. I did want to start by saying how happy I was, because I wasn't sure who was actually invited to today's events. And it was really nice to see members of the Artists Council that I was a part of, members of the board who have hired me to actually work for AN, members of the Artists Council who I've actually helped to hire, who are now currently in positions of leadership. And it's really nice to see the various different generations of leadership and artists that I've been happy and fortunate to be a part of. I do want to extend a few thank yous. Firstly to Julie, because many years ago when I first joined AN and joined the IAA, Julie brought me along, and I wasn't quite sure what this thing was that she was bringing me to try and show me in terms of, okay, there's an international artist advocacy group. Just come along and see how it is, and there will be things and opportunities to learn. And I have learned quite a lot from joining IAA, things that I continue to put into practice, and I hope that artists, not just in London and the UK, benefit from, but hopefully amongst all of our artists across the European, I was about to say European Union, but we're not in the Union, so across the continent, benefit from. Secondly, I would like to thank Temu and Anuka, and I hope to build on the foundations that you have set forward, the pillars of leadership and clarity. I really think you did an amazing job, and I really feel confident that with the backing of AN, myself, Julie and others can continue to maintain that. Lastly, I would like to thank Hilda and Sarah, who last night at the dinner, I didn't give a speech last night at the dinner, but this is, I think, more appropriate because, well, I have the stage, I can say what I want. So, but they have been a member of IAA Europe for, I don't know how long, way before I joined. And I've regularly usually look to yourselves as points of leadership in conversations. There have been some very difficult conversations that have happened across the years that I've observed, whether at the World Assembly, the Executive Committee, and you have always stood up for rights, and you've done what you said you would do, and in times when it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do or the easiest conversations. And I really, really, truly feel quite sad you are leaving. I do hope that you maybe reconsider for another term, but okay. So, but I cannot. I'm not very good at giving thanks to or being quite emotional, but I can't stress enough how thankful I am to have met you. That first time, actually, when I joined IAA, I remember going to Julie the next day and saying, I get on really well with Norwegians. And because of the drinks that we went to, and that was the beginning of feeling comfortable enough to feel a part of the community, and now hoping to grow it, and we're looking forward to welcoming new members. So yes, thank you for nominating me as your president, and I look forward to continuing the good work. I would like to begin the symposium by welcoming Larry Achimpong, who I believe is going to be our first keynote speaker. So please join me in a round of applause to welcoming Larry. Thank you.